What is going on, party people? How have you been? It's Lucas here back with another review, and today we're going to be checking out Periphery 3 Select Difficulty. Now, what has been going on in the land of Periphery since Juggernaut came out? Well, Adam Nolly, get good, the bass player, is no longer a touring member of the band. Now, when this came out, a lot of people were afraid. They were like, is he still in the band? Is he not? What's going on? No, he's still in the band. He is still an important member. He's just not touring anymore, which is understandable because he is focusing more on the production side of the music, his music life now, which means, recording in the studio, mixing, mastering, stuff like that. And what a lot of people don't realize is it's extremely hard to balance both of those, because whenever you're a producer in your home and you got all your stuff going on, as soon as you build up your momentum and you go out on the road, the bottom falls out because, people are looking, you got dates booked, people are looking to set up appointments and stuff, and it's hard to do when you're touring. So I think it's really cool that the other guys in the band are cool with him doing that. And they also started Get Good Drums, which is basically the Periphery sound in a drum samples in a library, which I bought it myself. It's awesome. It's really cool. So Nolly's gonna be running, he's gonna be running that side of the business, running Get Good Drums and doing all that stuff like that. But he just won't be touring anymore like he was in the past. Now this brings us to Periphery 3. Now, the very first song, "The Price Is Wrong," it was one of the first singles they released, and it's an aggressive song, and it's a kick in the face, and it pleased a lot of the, as I call them, the P1 apologists, who constantly rail that Periphery hasn't released anything good since P1, which is absolutely not true. This song was more of a return to the aggressive, in your face type of song that we've known from Periphery. It kind of went all out, which, it's actually a really cool song. It kind of has this new metal breakdown in the middle of it, which a lot of people were kind of like meh about, but I like it. It's cool. It's a great way to open the record. It goes right into it. It opens up with some blast beats. It's very in your face. It's awesome. Now the next song, "Motor Mouth," which, now this song is it was based off of an old Bulb demo called "Chocolate Flub." Say that 10 times fast. Flub 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 flub. And it's really cool. Like, the first half of the song is based on that demo, and then whenever it like around 2 minutes or so, 2:30 or so, whenever the demo ends, it kind of goes into like a Meshuggah Dancers of a Discordant System type of riff and feel, and it closes out the song with that heaviness, and it's really cool because I like the song. It's very good. Is it transitions because you have two heavy songs right up and to open the album. Now you're gonna see through a lot of this album, they used a lot of older samples and tracks that they've had earlier, and they even used some older bulb songs that they turned to Periphery songs, and it works out really cool. So the next song you have is "Marigold." Now Marigold it's this song introduces to you the new thing that's appearing on this album, which is the strings. Misha's been writing a lot of video game music, since Juggernaut. Has been experimenting a lot with strings, and this song is straight up. It's pretty much like a string off, pretty much, because it opens up with the string riff. They transition that into the guitars, and it's prominent throughout the entire song. It's very epic. It has a really simple chorus that carries over. It stays in your head, and Spencer does this really cool 12-part harmony in here too toward the end of it, and it's really, really good. Spencer also, on this record, the backing, it's something you really don't think about a lot, but the backing vocals on this record are really good. I find that was a lot of stuff that was missing on Juggernaut, was that the group vocals and stuff like that, they sounded really far away and they sounded dead to me. That's not the case here on P3. On P3, they're very full, they're very lively. Even the harmonies that they do are really cool. It feels more organic now and not as rushed, I guess you could say. And it's awesome. It fills that gap for me that Juggernaut had. Then the next song after "Marigold" is "The Way the News Goes." And I find this song kept getting stuck in my head. It opens up with this little clean guitar, I'll say ambient, but has a lot of delay on it, riff, and This song it's the first slow down, chill song of the record, and it's the start of what I kind of coined as pop P or pop periphery, if you want to call it that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I call it that because these are the type of songs you wanna like people who normally don't listen to progressive metal. These are the type of songs they're not familiar with periphery. Introduce them that way. Like example, my fiance. This perfect song for her because she doesn't like a lot of the other songs because she doesn't like when people scream at her, but she's not used to screaming vocals. So this is that type of song. Now it's very good, and there's a lot of songs scattered throughout the entire album like this because it breaks up the monotony. Because sometimes you get tired of listening to a lot of metal. This song it breaks up that monotony of all the metal songs that you have. Then after the way it goes, you have Remain Indoors, or a lot of people may know this song as the Black Machine B6 test off of Misha's SoundCloud. I think this came out in 2012 or 2013 is when it came out. It's now this song it's heavy, but it's not full throttle. It's very like trippy, I guess you could say, and very flowy because it has a lot of like cool little synth stuff in it. It's really cool, and I really like the vocals that Spencer put over it because it doesn't really get in the way. And apparently this when they came up with this arrangement, it inspired him. He liked it and inspired him, and you can tell because the lyrics are very cool and of course the chorus soars that you can a lot of the tracks on here. The chorus is very they're very I don't know they're good. They stick in your head. And it's the same thing with Flatline. Flatline has a really cool chorus. It's very catchy. I find Flatline could have been on Juggernaut. Like the lyrically and music wise, it sounds like it could have been on Juggernaut because it has that feel to me, and it has that kind of breakdown toward the end of the song, toward the end, like toward the middle, toward the end. It has a cool breakdown. The way it ends, it kind of reminds me of Psychosphere a little bit off of Juggernaut. Now, Asylum is the next song, which this song it's all about the bass on this song. It starts off with a bar 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 bar, and now this bass tone on here is awesome. It's good. It's very gritty. It's very kind of bass tone that you want. And this is actually another old Bulb song. It's a little longer than the actual Bulb song because they added a little bit more stuff to it, but it's really cool. And once again, Spencer did a good job putting lyrics over the top of it. And now this song, you actually have a lot of lead. You have a lot of lead lines and kind of little, I say, mini solos. You have solos in here, which you don't. They don't really have a lot of solos on the album as a whole. They really don't. The Price is Wrong has one, but it's a very riffy album. Very, 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 very riffy. Now at the end of Asylum, there's like a little string transition there. I'm like 99% sure this is what they used last tour for their opening. This is the track. It was a little string track that opened up before they went on stage. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is because I remember hearing it before. So that's tagged on the end of Asylum, which wasn't in the original version. Then the next song, you have another pop P song, as I call it, Catch Fire. Catch Fire it's one of the best songs on this album. It's really cool. It's basically, I call this song the Faith No More meets 21 Pilots Periphery song because it's basically what it is because it has this cool little bass groove going on and Spencer's like da ba da 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 when he's singing over it, and it reminds me of Faith No More, and it's cool because a lot of you don't really see that these days. A lot of vocalists don't exactly do that type. It's not necessarily rap, but it's like a rhythmic thing over, which is really cool. And then the chorus for this is just, it's super epic. You have the backing vocals and you have the strings, and it lifts it up, and it's a type of song that evokes emotion out of you. It's weird for me because like I keep finding myself liking these pop P songs as opposed to the horror songs, and it's very different for me because normally I like the horror stuff. Then after, and also, hold on, before I move on, in Catch Fire 2, Spencer has this little like little electronic thing going on in his voice, which they incorporated more of that in this album, which a lot of people don't know, that they don't. A lot of the guys in the band don't just listen to straight metal. They listen to a lot of different stuff, and you can tell because they mix and match it all over through the album, and it's cool because it creates the type of stuff that not normally used to hearing. Now, Prayer Position. This is the Nolly song because I'm pretty sure he wrote the skeleton of this song because it sounds a lot like his old band, Red Sea's Fire, which they're still going around and kicking. It's not exactly the same lineup as when he was in it, but it sounds like it's this sound. This song sounds like it could have been on their first album, first EP. It's very good. Go check that out, by the way, Red Sea's Fire. And this song is it's brutal. I want to say it's the most Meshuggah song that they have on the album. It's the way it ends. It's like dun 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 dun. It's cool. It creates a very cool contrast. It's one of the more aggressive songs. Creates a cool contrast right into the final song on the album, which is Loon. Now, Loon is one of those pop piece songs, but this song is so super epic. Like, the first time I listened to it, it evoked emotion out of me, which that doesn't happen very often for me when I'm listening to songs. It's very, I don't know, it's just very cool and laid back, and then when it finishes, it's just very, like, very epic and just kind of, that's the best way I can describe it. It's one of my favorite songs in the album. Like, this and Catch Fire, they're very different. We haven't heard this type of stuff from Periphery. And as I was saying before my camera rudely cut out, it's very epic. It's very epic. This song is awesome. Now, let's talk about the all-stars on this album. What made this album great for me, which pushed it past the P2 and even Juggernaut, was the strings and the backing vocals on this album are amazing. Especially in Loon and Catch Fire, it took it and elevated it to a new level. It's the support. It's just like in TF2 and Overwatch. If you want to win and be successful on your team, you need people playing the medics and the engineers. Because a lot of people just want to be spies and snipers, and then you lose. You need support if you want to succeed. And, I mean, everything on this album is great. The production is great, and the drum sound is actually even better than it was on Juggernaut, because it's refined a little bit more. Nolly and Matt kind of got it exactly where they want it, and it sounds great. Alright, guys, it's time for me to give this album a rating, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. It's awesome. It has all the elements that I want in a Periphery record. It's epic. It has a nice ebb and flow. The production is good. The only weakness I can really find I could really had in it was in which song is that in the B6 Black Machine test. Remain Indoors, that's the name of it. Sometimes it could have used a little bit of leads to make things interesting, but they just chose to play a riff and just let it kind of play out, which is fine. I mean, a little lead over that would have been nice, but that's how they wrote the song. So, what do you think about the album? Now, Periphery's super polarizing, and there's a ranging array of opinions about this album. Some people say it's trash. Some people love it. I, for one, love it. What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you hate to love it? Do you wish something else would have came out? I think they have a song for every one of their fans on this album, from the P1 lovers to the Juggernaut lovers to the P2 lovers. As for me, I think I'm going to be taking off. This concludes my review of Periphery P3. I am out. Peace.